Good morning, everyone. This is Scott with the Scott Man, and well, I can't believe it's the end of the year already, or just about. So throughout the past few years or so, like when it comes to I like to do like a year in review video, and typically I do this as a driving video. So this is gonna be a driving video today. So right now, we're starting off here on Michigan Avenue, or US 24, over by the world headquarters for Ford. So we're in the suburb of Dearborn right now, which is one of my favorite suburbs, I would say, of the Metro Detroit area. Just because there are all kinds of amazing Middle Eastern restaurants that I love to eat at here in Dearborn. All kinds of great foods, like from foods around, or from like, or nationalities, think like Lebanese, there's Iraqi, there's Syrian, Yemeni, like a lot of great stuff here. So this being a special year in review video, I'm not gonna really stop the video. Oh, camera kept going. At all the traffic lights like I normally do when I do these driving videos, unless I'm gonna be stopped for a long period of time. Exactly, so I figured just keep it going this time, because there's a lot to talk about. So yeah, 2024 has been a very interesting year. It's like I have done so many travels this past year, maybe even more than any year in the past. But before I get to that, so it's like with these year in review videos, I usually go around Metro Detroit. I'm not on a fixed route usually. I'm gonna be on Michigan Avenue for a little bit of time though, just going through Dearborn. And I'll probably get on the freeway in a little bit to get to another part. So I figure it's like it'd be cool to talk about the past year, but at the same time go by some cool stuff. And of course, if we see anything cool on the way, I'll definitely point it out, like I always do, like in all these different driving videos. But yeah, so 2024 has been a very interesting year. Lots of travel. Again, I'd say more than any year in the past, because I've just about every month I've gone somewhere. So like, for example, like I'll start off in the month of January. So I started off 2024 in, I don't think this light should be too long. I don't think this is a major light. A light could be wrong. I don't know, but if it was red for too long, then I'll stop it. But I think, okay, we're good. Anyway, so I started out the year down in Houston, Texas, where I was down there for a good couple weeks, filming a bunch of different content, not only for YouTube, but also for Instagram as well, too. So yeah, I'll be talking about travels and then about some general stuff, too. But anyway, and of course, looking forward to the next year. So I started out in Houston, and then I drove back up to Michigan. And I didn't really leave the state again until February, although I was trying to go to Tampa, Florida one weekend in January, just to do like a little quick weekend getaway. In fact, I even had the flight and everything planned and ready to go when I was still in Houston. Oh, and on a side note too, Sheba Restaurant, great Yemeni food, amazing food. I've been there at least a couple times. Absolutely fantastic. I definitely recommend checking that out, or checking them out. And yeah, right now we're in like the main downtown area for Dearborn. And then yeah, coming up on the left, there's even the Arab American National Museum. Very cool museum. Bumps in here, but I ended up canceling the trip at the very last second, just because my flight to Tampa was going to be like there was like a 3 or 4 hour delay, to where I would not have gone to my hotel in Tampa till like 2 o'clock in the morning, and things I wanted to do for that weekend started out early that morning, and I knew that it'd be extremely difficult for me to basically function the next day. So because of that, I ended up having to cancel that trip altogether. I ended up getting e-credits, thankfully, and I didn't lose out on any money. But yeah, so it's like it started out with a little bit of a defeat, but in February, I was able to go to Tampa after all. I did a longer weekend trip because I had off President's Day. So I got to do a longer trip to Tampa. This time I was able to go on it. All right, we'll go ahead and we'll get on I-94 East. So I got to spend some time in Tampa, which is a very cool city. Really enjoyed walking around there, walking around Ybor City, having some amazing food, and then I even did like a little day trip down to Fort Myers, Florida, which was a nice subtropical getaway, especially from the harsh Michigan winter, even though last winter here in Michigan was not all that bad. It was very mild. But still, it's nice to see 80-degree weather here. And right now we got someone who is big time on my butt because he refused to get over when I was getting on the freeway. So, oh, he's backing up. He's backing off a little bit, but so I'd love to say, "What's your problem?" But then I'd probably get severe blowback or something, and it could bite me in the butt. So. It's like you don't encourage people trying to commit potential road rage because it could end up turning ugly. But yeah, anyway, so that was a really good trip. And then March, I did 2 trips that month. So the first one was to 90s Con in mid-March. So I went to 90s Con back in 2023, had a great time, but I decided to go back a second time. I ended up getting a VIP pass this time. So like, if you've ever been to any of the different conventions, it's like Comic-Con, for example, where you get like a VIP pass, where you get to not cut the line, but you get to be in like an express line where you can do meet and greets with celebrities and things like that much quicker. And oh yeah, and this is the infamous Detroit sign, which is not all that appealing. Although it's not too bad at night though, when it's all lit up. They put that up just before the NFL draft that which Detroit hosted back in late April last year. Anyway, so I went back to 90s Con, which is it's like a 90s themed convention, all like 90s pop culture, all that fun stuff. Where I got to do meet and greets with the cast from the show Step by Step. I even got to re-meet again a couple of cast members from Full House, met the cast from Boy Meets World. It was really cool. I didn't film that one for YouTube. I did post some things on, I think I posted an Instagram reel though on that. So I have something on Instagram regarding that. So it was a nice little quick weekend trip. I had a great time at that. And then I got back, and then 2 weekends later, it was Easter weekend, and I did a little road trip down to Southeast Ohio, where I got to go to Athens, Ohio, and got to check out Hocking Hills State Park, which is incredible. It's one of the most beautiful parks in all of the state of Ohio. I highly recommend checking it out. It was fantastic. All kinds of cool gorges and waterfalls. They got construction going up ahead, so I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Get on to I-96 East. So I do apologize in advance. There's going to be a little bit of sun glare, but I can't control that. But Well, I can. I just have to go a different way, but it'll be temporary. Because, yeah, it's a really nice day out today. Car thermometer is being 48 degrees Fahrenheit, so like not almost like 9 degrees Celsius, and it's early December, so it's warmer than average today. I'm gonna get all the way over to the left lanes. So the cool little mini road trip that I did down to that part of Ohio. So I did that. And then April was pretty much I don't want to say recovery month. It was a month where I didn't do as much, although I did briefly do like a little day trip down to Bowling Green, Ohio. The reason for that is because we had a total solar eclipse here in the United States back in early April. And here in the Metro Detroit area, it was close to being a total solar eclipse, but not quite. It's like to see a total solar eclipse, you either have to go down like to Luna Pier, Michigan, or go down to like Toledo, Bowling Green, like areas in like Northwest Ohio. So I did just that, and we got lucky with the weather. So I'm gonna take the exit for M10 or the Lodge Freeway, and there is the skyline of downtown Detroit. And yeah, right now we're in the Courtown area. Lots of great restaurants over in here. So I got to go down to Bowling Green, Ohio for the day, and yeah, the total solar eclipse, that was really, really cool. I'm so glad I took the day off from work to go down to see that. It's like, it's one of those once in a lifetime moments. Unless you're able to travel all the different total solar eclipses that take place in the world. But it was just so cool that I did not have to get a hotel or fly anywhere to see a solar eclipse, because I could have flown to a place and then could have had really bad weather to where it would have been really unfortunate. But thankfully I just had to drive, and I got to see it in all its glory. Alright, so we're going to head in the direction toward downtown Detroit. So that was April. Didn't really do a whole lot that month. I did, of course, do my annual little trip to Frankenmuth, I think toward the end of April. Yeah, it was like the very end of April. And then going to May, so May was another busy travel month, kind of like March, where I got to do 2 trips. The first one I went down to Austin, Texas for a little weekend trip. Got to see my niece, who moved down there from the Detroit area to Austin. She moved down there earlier this year. And yeah, she's been in some of my videos too, and of course my Austin video, obviously, that I did back in May. So I got to spend the weekend with her, of course, exploring more of Austin, because I'd already been there a couple times previously, but get to show her some places that I had been to as well. So it had a really great weekend. And then 2 or 3 weekends later, was Memorial Day weekend, so I did a long weekend trip down to Boston, or over to Boston, which I always love going to Boston. It's one of my favorite cities in the United States. Check out so many cool different restaurants, and I always have a great time exploring the city there. And speaking of city, we're now in the heart of downtown Detroit, because this is where the Lodge Freeway ends, and this merges along into Jefferson Avenue, and we're coming across the Renaissance Center, and then of course we have Hart Plaza over here. I think, yeah, the light's about to turn green, so don't need to stop us at all. So Hart Plaza's off to the right, and of course you can see to the left you got the Fist of Joe Louis, and then way off to the left the Spirit of the Detroit statue. And of course a few blocks north on Woodward Avenue you got the really nice Christmas tree at Campus Martius Park, which is a beautiful place to go around the holidays. And then make a right turn here. That's the Detroit Windsor Tunnel, which is one of the ways you can take to go over to Canada. I'm going to need to stay to the left because I'm going to get on to 375 to start heading back to the north. And yeah, I should be able to make this light no problem. Alright, so I'm going to get back on the freeway here, and we'll take 375 north, and then we'll continue north on to I-75. So, yep, so a little interesting fact, there is a good chance that the I-375 freeway may be no more after this upcoming year, because there are plans in place to get rid of I-375 and make this just an above-ground boulevard with intersections with no more freeway, basically to connect the two sides. So this could very well be the last time I film the I-375 freeway ever, because they could be getting rid of it completely. And then off to the left you can see Ford Field, home to the Detroit Lions, who are having, I would say, their best, at least as I'm filming this video, the best season in franchise history. As I'm recording this, they've won 11 games in a row, which is a franchise record. So definitely unprecedented. We'll have to wait and see if they can make it all the way to the Super Bowl. That would be amazing. All right, so getting back in topic of this video. So after Boston, then of course the month of June, I did another trip, this time to Los Angeles. So I did a quick little weekend trip there because I was meeting up with a bunch of different content creators in LA. I even have a video on that one. It was really cool to meet a whole bunch of different content creators who do like YouTube, Instagram, all that stuff. So it was really cool meeting up with them, and got to spend some time at the beach in Santa Monica, California. Then we got to do the hike over by the Hollywood sign, which was incredible, and of course make a lot of cool friends along the way with that meetup. And then a little fun fact too, I didn't film it for YouTube. I put a reel up on Instagram, but in middle of October, there was another meetup of content creators back in October in Golden, Colorado, which is like a suburb of Denver. So that was really cool as well. So then, I'm getting ahead of myself now. So July, I did a long weekend trip around the 4th of July to Utah. So I got to go to Salt Lake City, so I got to check out the city, go up in the mountains to Park City, which is where they had the Winter Olympics in 2002. And then I even did a little day trip up to Preston, Idaho. Got to see all the different filming locations for Napoleon Dynamite. And I even went out to the Bonneville Salt Flats to the west side of the state. I didn't film that for YouTube or anything, but I got to check that out, and even got to briefly cross over to the border of Nevada. So I've now officially been to Nevada, even though just for a very brief, quick visit before returning back to Salt Lake City. But yeah, that was a cool trip. Oh yeah, as you can tell, we're back on 75. And then I would say throughout the rest of July and then the most of August, I was mainly just here in Michigan, checking out some different areas, like went up to the Tawas area, went to Pentwater. Oh yeah, and then early August too, I went up to Mackinac Island for the weekend, which I always enjoy going up there. Go up to Mackinac Island, going to St. Ignace, Mackinac City. of those weekend trips you have to do if you live in Michigan. And at the very end of August, going to early September, so like around Labor Day weekend, I finally got to do a trip out to Seattle, because I've always wanted to go out there. Got to explore the city, head up into the Cascade Mountains, where I got to do a day trip to Leavenworth, which is basically there was a lot of Bavarian theme architecture there. Like, I'd say more so than Frankenmuth. Oh, yeah, fun fact, I was just at Frankenmuth last night, checking out all the Christmas decorations there. Like, real time, I would say, not when this video is going up. Oh, and I also got to do a little hike near Mount Rainier, too, where I got some impressive views of Mount Rainier. It was absolutely spectacular. So that was that trip, and then toward the last part of September, the very beginning of October, I finally got to go to Australia. So I went to Australia for 2 weeks, or almost 2 weeks. Australia was a destination I've been wanting to go to for decades, like since I was in high school. And I was able to get a very good deal on flights to Sydney through using the Delta Sky Miles. I was able to use my Sky Miles to get to take my price down from like almost $2,000 to like almost $200. Got a really good deal on a flight to Australia, so I got to spend like a good week in Sydney, checking out the city and surrounding areas, and then I went up to Brisbane, up in Queensland, and then I rented a car from Brisbane, went up to the Sunshine Coast, checked out all the different coastal towns up there, and got to check out the Australia Zoo, which of course is run by the Irwin family. If you ever seen The Crocodile Hunter back in the day, of course, with the late Steve Irwin, that's their zoo, and it was incredible. Even got to see Bindi Irwin, which is, of course, the late Steve Irwin's daughter, feed the crocodile at the Crocoseum Crocodile Show, which is really cool. So I had such an incredible trip there, and then November, I didn't film it for YouTube or anything, but I did a work trip with my coworkers to Germany, so I got to go to our company headquarters in Stuttgart. Had a really great time there. Like, of course, we had to do a lot of work meetings, but at the same time, we had some fun too. We were able to do some sightseeing around Stuttgart. Even got to go to the Mercedes-Benz Museum, which was a lot of fun. Also did like a bowling night too with our German colleagues, which was a lot of fun. And then, because we were there on a Saturday too, and of course we did work on the weekend. My immediate coworkers, like my coworkers from the U.S. office, and so it was just 4 of us. We went to Zurich down in Switzerland, so we got to go to Switzerland for the day, which is really cool. Zurich is a very expensive city, but thankfully it was a work trip, so I didn't have to pay anything. So, great way to explore Zurich without having to worry about finances. Oh, it appears 8 mile an hour. We're about to cross over into Oakland County. Probably will stay on 75 until I get to maybe to 14 mile. I'll get off the freeway there. But yeah, when I filmed the recent I-75 North video thing a while back, it's nice to see this part all done, because this is really nice, because they've been working on this for so long. So anyway, had a great trip over there, and haven't really gone anywhere since then, other than just a little day trip I did down to Wapakoneta, Ohio. I didn't film a YouTube video or anything, but I think I might post something on Instagram from that, though. But it could be somewhere I could do something in the future for YouTube, though. You never know, because it's not that far from Michigan. course, I'm still planning things out for the end of the year because I always go somewhere right after Christmas. Could end up going back down to Houston again, for all we know. So stay tuned. Because I always enjoy Christmas with the family here in Michigan, and then right after, once Christmas Day passes, it's like, I'm out of here. So yeah, very busy month, or a bit busy year when it comes to travel. But yeah, of course I've been continuing, so talking about this past year, so yeah, been of course continuing everything here on YouTube. Of course, been really enjoying the experience, and of course I do appreciate all you guys watching my content, commenting on my videos. It really means a lot. It's like I can't run this channel without you guys, and definitely will continue into the next year with additional YouTube videos. And then I've been focusing a lot on Instagram too, because I've been wanting to increase my presence on there, and so I've been trying to improve my Instagram. Like I've been posting, like I started out the year posting started to post reels more regularly. Started out posting like 3 or 4 times a week, and then finding a rhythm to where I can post daily even too. So I've definitely learned a lot for creating good Instagram content. There's a lot I still have to learn too, like things I want to improve on myself. But I've learned a lot from different content creators. Like there's one is Crosby Melendi, or she goes by Crosby Grace Travels on Instagram. Like she was really phenomenal with a lot of different things on Instagram, and even YouTube as well. Like she's helped me out with some advice on Instagram and YouTube, and like she's been fantastic. Yeah, definitely check out her YouTube channel. Like I love her content, and also her Instagram too. Like yeah, Crosby's amazing. And I've also learned a lot of stuff too from Giselle and Steven of the Lover's Passport too. Like they have a lot of great Instagram tips that they share on their Creator Passport Instagram channel, so that's really cool. Like, so it's like I learn a lot of great stuff. It's like, yeah, a lot of great people up on social media. So it's like I've been continuing my YouTube schedule and then posting Instagram stuff too. So it's like when I'm enjoying my travel content, yeah, definitely need to follow me on all my different social media platforms. Whether it's here on YouTube, of course, there's also Instagram, and then of course on Facebook and X, which is basically, or Twitter, basically. I post a lot of. Usually, I mostly post like all my YouTube videos on those platforms, or basically share the links for those. I was posting on TikTok for a while, but because I didn't want to feel overwhelmed, I have currently stopped posting on TikTok. Yeah, definitely check it out though, but I don't know if I'll do anything more on TikTok or anything. I might at some point, but for right now, YouTube and Instagram are what I'm really focusing on. YouTube for, of course, the long form content, even though I might still consider posting YouTube shorts on here. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with that. And then Instagram for like the more short form content. So I'm going to go ahead and get off here at 14 Mile Road. So we'll stay off the freeway for the rest of this video. And we're going to head west on 14 Mile Road in the direction toward Clawson. Could probably go over to this lane here. Oh, good timing. Just turned green. Although this light up ahead is red, but I'm going to go ahead and just keep the video going. So moving forward to this next year, so definitely want to do a lot more travels as well too, because I'll be mentioning this in an upcoming driving video. I already filmed it, but it's going to go up in the January. But it's like what I'm wanting to do is do more in the way of like cultural travel. Like because as you know me, I love going to different countries or even different parts of the United States, checking out different cultures, and of course, as you know me as a big foodie, I love checking out different foods from all over the world, checking out different restaurants. So I definitely want to do a lot more of that. Then of course, traveling to different countries, exploring new cultures, even especially ones I had not seen before, even revisiting some old ones too. And definitely, I'm starting to do that on Instagram already, but even shifting that a little bit here on YouTube. Of course, the driving videos I'm not planning to stop those anytime soon or anything. And I'm still going to be posting stuff around Michigan, of course, because there's some cool stuff. Even do some more walking tours. But definitely try to do some more travels, like outside of Michigan, like checking out different areas, because one of my goals is basically to unite people, because there's too much division out there these days, and want people to come together and it's like realize that we're all the same, and it's like in the end we all want generally the same thing, just to live happy lives, and we want the best for everyone, and also get some more understanding of other cultures, so that way it's like, again, people don't have to agree with the culture or anything, but at least have cultural awareness, so that way people acknowledge that it's like our way of life here is not what everybody else does or what they even believe, and it's like we just gotta respect one another. And so it's a great way to bring cultural awareness. So this is definitely something I want to do more of and try to really pursue. So it's like, yeah, so it's nice that, yeah, where I work right now, like the same job I've been working at for over 13, 14 years, yeah, with great people too. It's nice that I'm able to have off weekends and get generous vacation time to where I can go off and do all these different travels. So definitely want to take every advantage of that. Of course, I am at a disadvantage a little bit too, because I'm limited to how many days off in a year I can take off. And of course, the fact that we are partially in the office, at least, I think at least a couple days or so a week, or something like that. So it's like I'm very limited, and it's not like I can be fully remote in a different location for a long period of time or anything. So I'm very limited to what I can do, but I am definitely going to try as best as I can to fulfill my mission, but of course at the same time continue where I am right now, just because my big focus right now is this mission, and it's like I'm going to try to do the best I can. Okay, so I'm gonna get ready to wrap things up in a little bit, because that's pretty much all I really wanted to say. So that's pretty much my update. I'm, of course, mentioning about what I'm wanting to do moving forward. So I'm going to go ahead and pull off on one of these side streets over here. Making sure he wasn't going to pull off in front of me or something. So I'm going to go ahead and make a left turn here. We're going to see a little bit of sun glare briefly, but I'll try to make it brief. Okay, we're good to turn. See, right now we're in Clawson, Michigan, which is just between Royal Oak and Troy. Can I pull over on this road? No, okay, no, there's no parking, so because I want to, again, get ready to wrap things up here. I could have gone there, but oh well. Or you know what? I think I can legally park here, so I'm going to park right here briefly. I'm going to get ready to wrap things up, but yeah. So I'm going to get the camera off the GoPro, or sorry, off the mount here. I'm going to turn on to me really quick, and again, I just want to thank all of you once again for all your tremendous support this past year here on YouTube, or on my other social media platforms. It is truly appreciated because, again, I keep saying this because I truly mean it, but take out the sunglasses too, so that way you can see my eyes too. Not just my sunglasses, but yeah, because I truly mean it. It's like I could not do this channel without you guys. I love all the support you give me, and it's truly, truly appreciated. Like, because I absolutely love doing these travel videos here on YouTube, Instagram, and all the different platforms, and it's like travel means more than anything to me, and just seeing people being enlightened by these travels, and knows that I'm fulfilling my mission. And of course, there's a lot of work I have to do with this. There's a lot of things that I'm still trying to figure out with the mission, but it's like it's only just beginning, and I'm so glad that all you are along for the ride. And so yeah, definitely want to continue with this. And again, I truly appreciate all you. Thank you again for all your support this past year. Stay tuned for my annual blooper reel at the very end of the year. I'll have another vlog going up on Monday, the day before New Year's Eve, so no worries, there's another video coming up. I think it's the last one for my Australia trip. And then of course my blooper reel on New Year's Eve, so you have that to enjoy. And then of course some great stuff going into 2025. So again, I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year as well. And thank you so much again for all your support. Truly, truly appreciate it. So thank you for watching, and this is Scott, or the Scott Man, signing out here from my car here in Clawson, Michigan.